your house now.
Yeah.
Tyler Gilbert, welcome to the Vancast.
Yeah, Nick, thank you for having me.
Stoked that we're going to do this. Can't talk. I am so stoked you are doing this with me.
Yeah.
And I was about to tell you, when I first considered doing a podcast, and I was setting it up actually, it was the day before I did my first episode. I was sitting where you're sitting right now, watching you in your major league debut, starting debut.
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching it on my phone right over there.
Oh, that's a trip.
And now you're sitting right there.
That's funny. Big circle right there.
It's huge, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, welcome to the Vancast.
Thank you, man. This is nice.
Thanks.
This is really cool.
How have you been?
Good. Just working on my just off-season routine right now. Throwing, working out, and trying to stay in shape and gear up for next year, even though we're in a lockout right now. But
I heard about that.
yeah, it's I haven't been able to communicate with the Diamondbacks at all right now.
Wow.
Because of that, but that's out of my control. So I'm just focusing on my throwing and the gym right now.
Yeah, so I was going to say for people who don't know, but the world knows who you are. Tyler Gilbert, pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks. First of all, welcome. Second of all, what has your year been like? It's been a wild year, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been wild. It's everything that I've been wanting and, striving for. So it's definitely, it's been a little crazy the last few months, but since I got back home in Santa Cruz, it's kind of slowed down. And, yeah, man, it's just the dream, that's my dream was to get to the big leagues, and it happened this year. And a couple other things happened too, a little bit bigger than that, like the no-hitter, which still to me is crazy that happened. But moving forward, I just want to stay in the big leagues now and work hard to just stay there. And,
To backtrack a little bit, you've been playing baseball your whole life, right?
Yeah.
We played Little League growing up.
Yep.
And I feel like it's every Little Leaguer's dream to play pro baseball. I'm assuming that was the case for you.
Yes, I knew that from like day one. And my dad, he always showed me that love for baseball and introduced me to the game. So yeah, it's basically been my life since I can remember, working every day towards one goal. And yeah, it's been a wild ride, but I'm enjoying it.
So when you go through Little League and then you were probably doing travel baseball, right?
Yeah, I did that one summer in high school. I never really played year round growing up because, it's just a lot of stress on your arm. But that's why I did football and basketball and try to balance it out and not put so much stress on my elbow and shoulder at a young age, just so I can let it I got to develop and grow into that, so.
Well, it looks like you definitely did the right move.
Yeah, it took a little while, but I'm excited where I'm at.
So then in high school, you're dominating. And, you threw a no-hitter in high school too, right? 7 innings, but...
Yeah, 7 innings against Santa Cruz High. Hit a home run that game, too.
Did you really?
It got called back, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the situation?
The pitcher balked, I guess, right in his windup, and then the umpire, home plate umpire, called a balk and no pitch, and I still swung and put it on the classroom in right field at Santa Cruz High. And then it got called back, but then I walked right after that.
You should call that umpire up today. Hey, man.
I know. I wish I had his number.
In that situation, I feel like you should get that. It's not like you did something. The pitcher did something.
Yeah, I know. And
that's you.
Yeah, it was a bummer, but I remember that so vividly. But it is what it is.
We're going to count it.
Yeah.
I'm making the call.
Yeah.
Okay, so high school. You're still loving the game. You graduate. What's your plan? Are you trying to go to the bigs then? Are you going to college? What's the move?
After high school, I got hurt junior, senior year. So I never really had any D1 offers. And my goal is just to continue playing as long as I could. And after high school, that next step was junior college. So I chose to go down to Santa Barbara, and really good program down there. And they have a really good track record of flipping guys to D1 schools and getting guys drafted. So it was a good program. So I fit right in 2 years there, then got matured, and I grew and got stronger, and finally was throwing the ball over a 90 about when I hit 20 or 21 years old, I think it was, when I first hit 90 miles an hour. And then got a scholarship to USC for 1 year.
Wow.
And then drafted, yeah.
So the injury, was it like an injury to your arm?
No, I broke or fractured my wrist in high school. I think that was my senior year, and then junior year, like fractured my finger. So, yeah, there's a few little things here and there, but you know, the road is different for everyone, you know.
Was there a time when you were injured that you thought, oh shoot, like I gotta rehab this, or were you ever worried that, you know, it was gonna set you back on your goals and things?
Yeah, a little bit. I thought about that, but at the same time, they're so minor, you know, but the timing of them was weird because they're like right during the season, and that can kind of mess up your, you know, scouting for colleges and stuff. But I think everything happens for a reason, you know, and I'm happy with the road that it's taken me to right now, you know.
So you go to USC, and how long were you there for?
I was there for 1 year, 2014 to 2015, and I was a junior. And once you become a junior and at a D1 school or any university, D2, D3, NAIA, you become draft eligible as a junior. So I transferred there as a junior, spending 2 years in junior college, and then my third year was at USC, so I got drafted right there. After that year, I did well.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
So who drafted you?
The Phillies.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was that moment like? Where were you?
Yeah, I was at my house in Felton, my old house that I grew up in. I was with my dad and my mom, and my best friend Trace was there, and then Rick was there. And yeah, I got the call, and it was just, it's hard to put in words, you know, because it's pretty, you know, you work so hard for something, and it finally happens, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just surreal, you know.
So did someone call you, or?
Yeah, well, I got a call that morning of the draft saying, like, are you open for the first 10 rounds? Like, are you available to sign? I said, yeah, just treat me fairly through the first 10 rounds and I'll sign. That was from the Phillies. And then we're watching it on TV. And then I saw in the 6th round that the Philadelphia Phillies called my name. And then I got calls right after that, and it was crazy, but it was cool.
I feel like you've now had a lot of moments where your phone probably was breaking with people hitting you up.
Yeah, no, but you know, it's a good thing. I don't want it any other way, you know?
Yeah.
So
where was their team? So you're going to the minors first, right?
Yeah. So
and where'd you go?
I flew out to Clearwater, Florida, which is where their spring training facility is, and started my minor league career there. And then shortly after that, I went to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I've like zigzagged on the East Coast to a bunch of different spots from just working my way up through the minors, you know.
Dang.
But yeah, it's been Clearwater, Florida to Williamsport, Pennsylvania to Lakewood, New Jersey, back to Clearwater, Florida for high A, which is another higher level, then to Reading, Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. Then that was like all through the ranks from the lowest to the highest level of minor league baseball.
So you have been busy moving, working hard.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I had no idea it was that much moving. And then you're traveling while you're playing too, right?
Yeah, some of those like lower end, like the lower levels of the minor leagues of traveling is just brutal. It's like 12-hour bus rides, and you got to play that same day. Yeah, it's a grind, you know, but it's you just got to try and see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know.
Were you starting at the time? Does that make it a bit easier because you know you're not going to be playing every single day?
Yeah, I was starting when I first got drafted in 2015 and 2016. I was starting, so it was kind of nice to like, you know what day you're going to pitch, so you can like prepare for that. But then in 17, 18, and 19, I was a reliever. And so then it's just like, you know, bite the bullet and, you know, just pitch when your name's called.
So it is a grind for sure, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Was it fun too, though?
Definitely, yeah. You meet some good people and you meet some really cool people and establish good relationships. And, you know, I have a lot of lifelong friends that I've met through the minor leagues right now. So, you know, it's good.
Baseball is super fun. I feel like I had a lot of fun playing in high school.
Yeah.
But I feel like some of the funnest moments were just hanging out in the dugout.
Yeah.
Just
those
whatever.
memories with the boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Does that change, or do you guys still prank each other?
That's always going to be around. Like, it's almost the memories you have with your teammates off the field sometimes can stay with you forever. It's a good time. And yeah, it's just bonding. I think that's important for teams in any sport or any job, anything, just like bonding with your coworkers or teammates outside of the work environment can strengthen you guys inside the work environment.
That's so important.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, you're treating it like fun, but it also is your job, and you're taking it very seriously because you want to take it to that next level.
Yeah. Yeah. Really focusing when it's time to focus is a big part of my thing.
It's good to have that balance, because if you're just goofing off all the time, you're going to sacrifice in your product. But you have to have that balance. Otherwise, you're probably going to burn out, lose interest in what you're doing because you're taking it just too seriously.
I agree, man. So I agree so much with that. Yeah, and you see it in baseball. That's why I think it's good having a balance of other activities and hobbies that you like doing. Definitely, because if it's just baseball, I think it can get a little overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Are you that guy in the dugout who's pranking people?
I mean, in the bullpen in 2017 and 18, we had some fun out there where. There's this one story. This one's pretty good. There's about 7 or 8 of us in the bullpen, and this was in AA. And I actually, I set up a little cup, because there's always fans around the bullpen, and they're always asking for balls. That's all they want. Give me a baseball. Give me a baseball. Like the little kids, even the adults are like, give me a toss up. Give me a ball. And so I thought of this little thing. I wrote on like a piece of paper, if you can throw a quarter in this cup, I'll give you a ball. And there's a photo of it somewhere, and then I put it like a little Gatorade cup down there, and the bullpen was like 10 feet up, or the people were 10 feet up from the bullpen, and all of a sudden people were just throwing quarters down there. And so we would do that at every road game, and like we got a few $100 at the end of the year from it, just in quarters.
I didn't think about that.
It was like a little end of the year party with that money.
That's crazy.
Yeah, people really want baseballs, so they just heckle the bullpen. And yeah, I was like, let me turn this into something here.
That's hilarious. I didn't even think about it. You're gonna like make a bunch of money. That's so funny.
Yeah, because you don't make a whole lot in minor leagues, so we're just messing around.
The beer money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's ingenious. You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Do people still carry that on? So that's brilliant.
Yeah, not so much in the big leagues, obviously, but even though I don't have that much time in the big leagues yet, but no, that was just a fun little minor league.
You can do it now.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
I can give you a ball now. Yeah, it's fun. No, I remember our pitching coaches would get so mad because we'd bring back the bag after a game if you don't pitch. And there's like 3 balls in it, and they're like, where all the balls go? We would just throw them to fans.
I'm going to say it was like a bag full of quarters.
and our Gatorade cup full of quarters.
They're going to start making you buy the baseballs back.
Yeah. No one ever made it in the cup, too. So
oh, really?
It was fun.
That's so funny. It's all those kids, Dad, give me $20. Gotta go.
They started like crumpling up dollar bills and tossing them down in the cup. As like guys are warming up to go in the game. We had a good time in the bullpen in the minor leagues.
Yeah, that sounds like.
Time. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know how it really works, but so there's minor leagues who feed into Major League Baseball teams. What is independent professional baseball? Do you know much about that system?
Yeah, it's an independent. It's basically another league that you can play in, and usually it's either like a mix of minor leaguers and a few big leaguers who are still looking to pursue baseball, and if they're not signed with like an affiliate, like a team like the Giants, Padres, like if they're not signed with a team like that or in the minor leagues with them, then anyone that's like you can go play independent baseball. And I almost did that in 2020 last year during COVID because our minor league season got shut down and the independent leagues were still going. So I almost did that just to get some innings in. And it's good baseball. Like it's legit baseball, and that's like a good place for people to play, like all ages. I mean, 18 and up basically, but yeah, it's a good league. It's all scattered through the states.
It is very legit baseball, and I had firsthand experience of that,
Oh,
as I
that's
told
right.
you.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, I watched the show. I told you about this, the Pecos League on Amazon,
Yeah.
which is it's like a 6-episode mini doc series, and it kind of shows like that camaraderie in this baseball system, and I was like, oh, I love this. I remember how fun it was playing in high school,
Yeah.
and I found that they were having an open tryout in Arizona, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna crush it, and then maybe one day I'm gonna go play professional baseball in the major leagues. This sounds so embarrassing telling you that.
No, that's hilarious.
So I drove down with 2 friends in this small Jeep Cherokee I had all the way to Arizona. We went like a wrong way. It took like 16 hours to drive there. So it was hell driving there. You pay $350 just to get into the tryout.
And how many guys were there?
Like, I don't know, 20, 30 guys.
And how many guys made it?
0. Wait, so spoiler, I did not make it.
So they just pocketed that money.
I mean, that's probably the idea to begin with. But like the coach from the show was there.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, this is cool. It was a 3-day tryout, and I was going for the outfield. I'm like, I can do this. I'm fast.
Yeah.
I can track a ball. Let's do this.
Yeah, that's what you played in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, how hard could it be? How hard could it be? So they have us throwing, they're hitting balls to us in right field, and you got to throw it to third base.
Okay.
Catching it, I mean, I was all right. I could catch it. And then throwing it there, I'm like, I'm a cross country runner now. I don't have the muscles anymore. And guys were throwing it on like a line drive to third base from like pretty deep right field.
Deep right field, yeah.
One hop, line drive balls. And here's Nick like rainbow to second base, dribble into third base.
Like a 15 hopper. And
Yeah, 15 hop to a roll. This is embarrassing.
That's
it was
funny.
fun. I didn't stay for the third day because I was just crushed, demoralized. Not crushed as sadness, but more embarrassed, I think.
So it's just 2 days and you're gone?
Out of there. My biggest source of pride that weekend was hitting a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. I hit probably like a 15-foot pop fly to the infield. So I made contact.
It was 90 miles an hour coming in?
Yeah, so I'm very happy with that.
That's hard to do.
Dude, those bats are heavy.
Yeah.
What the heck? These are not
Were you
like
using
high school.
wood bats?
Dude, I bought 4 wood bats for like $250.
You went all out.
I'm like, I'm going to need these bats.
And when was this?
This was like January 2017, I think.
That's so funny.
Going back for my redemption, coming for you, Pecos League.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, but the bats are heavy. I'm like, what the heck is this? These bats are... So, yeah, I'd probably be this... Is there anybody my size in the bigs?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty scrawny.
No, I mean, it's not like...
They're a lot stronger, probably.
It's not like a bunch of... You'd be surprised. It's not a bunch of like really strong macho guys.
Yeah.
There's some smaller guys and some thick... I mean, it ranges.
Yeah. Which is... It makes baseball so cool.
Yeah.
There's so many different like body types and speed and power. It's so different.
Yeah, it's not cookie cutter, that's for sure. Everyone's like so unique,
So we were almost teammates in the independent league. Okay, so the 2020 season gets canceled. Where were you playing at the time?
So I got traded to the Dodgers in spring training of 2020 from the Phillies. And I was there. I got invited to big league camp with the Dodgers. And I was only there for like 2 weeks. And then COVID kind of hit, and then we all got in a big room. And, our farm director told us, like, this was like when everyone was going crazy, when it first hit, and people were not sure what to expect, And so he just said, hey, none of us have ever gone through something like this, but we're having to cancel the minor league season. And, then we're all kind of like, well, what do we do? And then after that, some guys got invited to the alternate site, which was like an alternate spring training site. And I was like, oh, I should have a good chance at getting invited to that, because it's like they're kind of like their AAA guys and some prospects and guys who are like on the cusp kind of the big leagues. And I was like, oh, I have a good chance. And never got that call. So I was like, oh, okay, well, then I'll just figure it out on my own. And I just continued to throw and trying to work out. And I threw with Seti a lot, and I threw with Blaine Mitchell. I don't know if you know him.
No, I don't.
Yeah, he's goes SLV. He's a catcher. He's a stud. I threw with, and I don't know. There's a lot of people that have helped me through this crazy ride. But yeah, no, it's been cool.
So what was that mentality like for you when it gets canceled and you're back home and you still have this super drive to go to the bigs and this happens? Yeah. How do you stay focused and stay motivated in a time like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it was weird, man. It was like when I got sent home and I didn't get invited to the alternate site, and I was home in Santa Cruz, the whole summer, and I haven't been home in a summer in I don't know how long, because I'm always gone playing. So it hit me. I was like, whoa, this isn't right. Like, I need to be playing baseball right now. Doesn't feel right being home in the summer. Like, I'm not done playing yet. And so that drove me kind of through the winter into the off season, into that winter and into spring training of this year. And I just had like a different, I don't know. I knew from being home that whole time, it felt so weird. And I was like, I need to be playing baseball right now. Like this, I'm not done. So drove me, just kind of lighted the fire even more underneath me and, pushed me into spring training. And then I got Rule 5, which...
Yeah, what is
the
that
Rule
exactly?
5 draft?
I've heard that a lot from this story, but...
Yeah, it's basically, if you're not on the 40-man roster, then you can get put in a pool where it's like basically like you're in... And it's an open draft for any team to take you because you're not protected by the 40-man roster. Mm-hmm. You're not under like the big league roster, right? So like I wasn't on the big league roster with the Dodgers, but I still was under like the minor league contract with them. And so I got put in that Rule 5 draft, which happens in December, got picked by the Diamondbacks. So obviously they saw something in me. And so then it just basically nothing's different. You just switch teams. But it's good that someone shows interest, And so then 2021 spring training, I was with the Diamondbacks and in big league camp, and then got sent down in big league camp along with a lot of other guys. Started the year in Reno. It was just AAA for the Diamondbacks, and they turned me into a starter, which was cool because I've been relieving for the last 4 years. And so them turning me into a starter kind of gave me an idea of, they see something in me different right now. Like they see me as a starter, possibly helping the big leagues out. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do whatever. Like I'm excited to do this. So yeah, then got called up in July or when was it? It was August, beginning of August. Yeah. It's still kind of a little whirlwind, but it's been cool.
I mean, it's so incredible that during that quiet time when you had to go home, that you stayed so hungry for it. Because I feel like if you have to go a period of time without doing something, it can show that you're okay with not doing that thing. Totally. Or in your case, it just showed you how much you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really telling for passions and people. Follow where you really get that sense of motivation from.
Yeah.
And you did that.
Yeah, I agree, because I think some people can take it the other way, which I'm kind of done. Like me not doing this feels right almost, or like me not doing this feels like not even real. Like it doesn't feel real, and that's how I felt. I was like, this is weird. Like I need to be playing baseball, and it drove me more.
Or people settle. They go, I guess it's not meant to be. I guess
that too.
Yeah.
And there comes a time and a place for that with, baseball in my profession, where you hit a certain age and, you're not getting any big league looks, or you're not getting called up or this and that. And there comes a point where you got to realize, maybe it's time. Yeah, but that wasn't the time for me. It sucks because I've seen a lot of talented guys in the minor leagues, just stop playing, which is fine if they're not into it. But the grind of the minor leagues with no pay, or the limited pay and the conditions, it sucks because it drives people away. Really talented guys that are way better than I am, just a part of it,
Because do they weigh out, like, I got to make ends meet. What are the chances of this happening? I got to consider a lot of things.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like some people are just like, I think I got to start, paying the bills, get a job that pays the bills. But it is what it is, and that's just the way it is,
Yeah. So you were working with your dad over the time of COVID, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what you were doing leading up to when you went back and started playing again?
So I was working with my dad doing electrical work. And I've been doing that the last few off seasons, so I'm getting basically kind of an idea of what I'm doing now at this point. But, last year during COVID, I would get up and work out at Paradigm at like 7 a.m. with Zach Settles. He would come in and work out with me and he would throw with me, and we did this driveline program, which is like an arm strengthening program together, and he was like doing it with me. And so I'd get up at like 6, go work out at 7, get back around 9, and then go work with my dad at like 10 and do electrical work just to make some money. And that was basically it, yeah. But I was like, I don't know. I know it's crazy, but it felt like kind of normal to me.
Dude, talk about motivation. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll set my alarm and I'll be like, nah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, today. To be a big leaguer, you got to say no, it's today.
Yeah. I don't have it all figured out, but at least I can give my, thoughts out there and stuff like that.
So I remember the day that you got called up because I was sitting there at home.
Yeah.
And Connor Barton calls.
Oh, nice.
And he goes, "Hey, are you watching the Giants game right now?" I was like, "No, why?" He goes, "Tyler's pitching." Yeah. I was like, "Drop everything. What? That's amazing." Dude.
Yeah.
What was that like that moment when you found out it's happening?
Yeah, so that moment when I found out it was happening was around midnight after a start against the Sacramento Giants, which is their AAA team, Sacramento River Cats, which is the Giants AAA team. I went like 6 innings, like 10 strikeouts, best start of my whole year. And then I was like, because I don't know, it's a long story, but I was like kind of thinking, I'm like, man, I hope like this has to be coming soon. Like I was really consistent in AAA. And so after that start, I think it kind of put the icing on the cake in terms of getting called up. And actually, yeah, I remember calling my farm director and asking after that start, I was like, hey, is there anything else that, like, I need to be doing or improving on, or can I have some kind of insight where, like, what do you guys want me to do more, or what can I improve on, And he said, "Oh no, you're right. You're doing everything right. Like you're basically next up in line." Called him after the game, and he told me all that stuff. And then the next day, I get a call, basically at midnight the next day, saying, like, "Hey, remember that conversation we just had?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, it's coming true. You're getting called up to the big leagues." And I'm like, "What?" So then, yeah, it was crazy.
Where were you?
I wasn't still in Sacramento. So then I only had a little suitcase on me, and went to the airport the next morning and flew to Arizona with a little suitcase. All my stuff was still in Reno. But yeah, then I got thrown into the game that same day. Like I flew in after Bumgarner went 7 innings, I think it was. I went in the 8th, and then our closer closed it out. Yeah, that was crazy.
I mean,
it was just, I was glad the way it happened like that, because I didn't want to sit around for a couple of days in the bullpen just thinking about the debut, and like, so I was happy. Our manager Tori just threw me right into the fire and got it over with. Wow. And I was happy with it.
Talk about probably a range of emotions for a 24-hour period.
It was nuts, but I think everything leading up to that moment was crazy and nerve-wracking, but once I was in the game, it was cool. It was just like, this is baseball. It's the same game. It's nothing different besides everyone watching. But
that's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
We have a video of you striking out the first player.
Yeah.
in your.
I have that ball in my apartment.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's pull this up. How'd that feel?
Good. I was just like, so cool. I didn't even realize it. It took me so long for all, like, see, I tried to get the ball, but they threw it in right there. Because they keep the ball for like guys who get their first big league strikeout. They'll toss the ball into the dugout so they can keep it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you knew that at the time?
I had no idea. Because that's why in that
You're so
video,
focused.
I'm like, hey, can I have it? And they threw it back. I'm like, okay, I'll just get a new one.
Man on a mission. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
That's so sick. When you struck him out, who'd you strike out? Do you remember?
That was Slater.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, were you like just
I was like,
thrilled, but you got to keep your straight face on because you're in the game, but like you must have been ecstatic.
Yeah, no, I was. Every part of me was just, you know, like I deserve to be here right now, and I just took advantage of that, and I wanted to see how I can play. You know, I want to see how I do against these guys, and yeah, I just kind of zoned out a little bit.
It's so wild. Did you get those are cool blue cleats too?
So those were the teal blues. I remember like getting called up. I was like, I saw other guys wearing those because I was like, we only wore those 2 days out of the week for like the teal jerseys, the white and teal jerseys that we have. And I saw other guys wearing those, and I was like, I had my locker, and I was like, where did you guys get those cleats? And they're like, go ask the clubby for them. And so I was like, first thing I was like, I wanted to get a pair of those around. I got called up.
That's awesome. Do you still have those too?
Yeah, I got those.
Sick.
Yeah, it's fun. There's a lot of cool gear.
I used to work for the 49ers, and
nice.
they're just like throwing sweatshirts at you all the time. I'm like,
so much gear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have enough 49er sweatshirts to last my whole life now. But like, that's epic though. So so that was your first appearance in the major leagues. You came to San Francisco with the team, still in the bullpen, right?
Yeah.
And I went to the game the first day in San Francisco. I was gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, Tyler?" Yeah. And you weren't in the bullpen though. And I remember leaning over the fence, and I was like, "Where's Tyler?"
Yeah.
And the bullpen coach was there, and what's his name?
Fetters.
Yeah.
Fetters, yeah. Did you say something to him?
I did. I go, "Hey," because he looked up. I wasn't like pestering.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, where's Gilbert?" He goes, "Oh, he's getting the start this weekend." And I was like, "All right, that's epic."
Yeah.
And I was with Connor Barton's dad at the game.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you know this, but I walked up to the bleachers, and he's like, "Where is he?" I'm like, "He's getting the start this weekend." And I kid you not, I said, "What if he threw a no-hitter?"
You said that?
I said, I'll show you the text later. I said this, and he goes, "Oh yeah, Nick, that'd be pretty crazy."
That's a trip.
Right, and so that was really funny.
That's funny.
So yeah.
Who would have thought?
A couple days later then, you go back to Arizona.
Yeah.
You're getting the start. Talk a little bit about your preparation, I guess, for going into your first start. I mean, is it just like any other game in the minors? And
well, I was pretty aware of what I needed to do based on AAA because I was starting every 5th or 6th day down there. So I knew like starting wasn't really foreign to me when I got that call, you know. So yeah, I had an idea of what I needed to do to get ready, and it happened just like that, you know. It was just crazy. It was hard to sleep. It was hard to sleep even like before the debut. It was hard to sleep, but it was hard to sleep during, you know, the night before I get my first start against the San Diego Padres. But my girlfriend, now fiance, was there, and some of my family was there. Her family was there. It was cool, and just to experience that with all them was just like, it's just unbelievable. I'm gonna look back on that moment for as long as I live, you know. But like I know the no-hitter was amazing and this and that, and I got to give credit to the whole defense. If you watch that game, it was just like balls are getting hit pretty hard, but they're getting hit like 2 guys, which was cool, and guys were making incredible plays. like that wasn't like a very clean no-hitter. Like balls were getting hit and guys were just making plays, you know? So it was definitely the 8 guys behind me who made that happen.
I mean, you got to count yourself in that defense, right? Because you had
I did, yeah.
a quick ball, right?
Almost took my head off. Luckily, I caught it.
Yeah, so all of this was meant to be. But,
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it. Obviously, people know about this. You threw a no-hitter in your sorry, that had no emphasis. You threw a no-hitter in your first major league start. Every time I look back at a video of this, like, just when I think I can't comprehend how much crazier, like, it's just so crazy I can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
You kind of, like, I've heard in interviews and things, you were somewhat aware, kind of mid-game, would you say? What was, like, mid-game when you kind of started to understand?
I mean, I was aware throughout the game, but after the 5th inning, it hit me more. You know, my goal in that start was just simply to get deep in the game and prove myself that I can do this at this level. And yeah, it you know, come the 7th inning, I was like, oh wow, this is happening right now. This is crazy. And in the dugout, no one says a word. You know, like no one comes up to you and says, dude, you got a no-hitter going, because that's just an unwritten rule in baseball. You're not supposed to do that. But you know, after the 6th inning and then the 7th inning happened, and then I was just talking to Fetters. Our bullpen coach was our pitching coach that day or that night because our pitching coach was on COVID protocol. He got exposed, so he was out for 7 days. So Fetters, the guy that you talked to in San Francisco, was in the dugout as our pitching coach. And we were just talking about nothing about baseball, like about the stakes we're about to have. And like after the game, and I was like, I was like, oh, the food's so good up here, like, and so like in between innings, we weren't even talking about baseball. Like after the 7th inning, and that kind of helped me get my mind like off what was going on. And then the 8th inning, it was only 3 pitches, and I was like, this is gonna, like, I'm gonna go out for the 9th. Let's just go. Let's do it. What happens, happens.
Like, as you say this, I can't even comprehend it. It's just like the most incredible thing. Yeah. So, I mean, you're talking with Fetters. It's obviously the elephant in the room, but like, is it in the back of your mind, or are you just trying to block it out altogether? It must be. No, I'd be overwhelmed. I don't know.
I knew it was going on, and he knew that. Everyone knew what was going on, but we just were making each other laugh and stuff, and not talking one thing about the game. And I really believe that is what helped me just like relax out there, you know. And it happened. It was crazy, but yeah, I'm looking forward to next year now too. And it has been a rush, though. It was crazy what happened, but you know, I'm looking to stay in the big leagues for a while now.
Well, I definitely want to show people, because, you know, I'm not going to say what happened. Let's watch this video.
Yeah.
Let's see this video of you
let's do it.
Throwing a no-hitter.
With Tyler Gilbert going to the mound, the fans behind him, he's thrown a no-hitter through 8.
This is his first career Major League start, and he's 3 outs away. Center field, Marte, it's a no-hitter!
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I hope you haven't washed that Gatorade-soaked jersey one time.
I got that jersey framed in my apartment right now.
That's great.
Yeah.
Dude.
Caitlin, like, loves it. She at first she was like, you know, well, we don't need anything else on the walls, more on the walls. And I was like, we're going to put this jersey up there. But no, she loves it. Yeah, it was crazy.
So who was at that game? You your mom, your dad, your fiance, Kaylin.
Her father.
Her dad was there. Okay.
Yeah. My grandpa was there. One of my good buddies that I played in junior college was there, Connor Decco, and his dad. Yeah, it's hard to remember, honestly. There's so much stuff going on. Like, the debut was great and it was fun, and then all of a sudden this happened, and it was just like really, really crazy. But like I said, it's been something that I've been working for.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? And what does it mean to have all those people who love and support you there, like how much pride does that bring you in knowing that you had all this support behind you?
Yeah. It's hard to describe it because the support that I've had up until that point, it's without them, my parents, fiance, and all that support, it's like it might have never happened, So it's like it's pretty special having them witness that. And my dad's been helping me try and get to the big leagues this whole time. We've been playing catch since we've been that big, and for them to witness like that, his son's dream is coming true. He's got to be pretty proud, And it's just without their support system, it's probably likely it wouldn't have never happened,
That's amazing to hear.
It's huge to have that, yeah.
You gave an interview to Jim Seamus?
Yeah.
Do you know that guy?
Yeah. Santa Cruz Sentinel.
That's why I know.
Writer.
Yeah.
He's been doing the Sentinel for years.
Okay.
Since we've been in high school.
You gave him an interview
on the field in
San
Francisco.
Do you remember what you said in this interview?
I do, because it's been like resurfaced, and I'm like, yeah, that's a trip.
So this is before your first major league start. And I'm going to play this video because it's pretty wacky.
So you're not making an appearance, today or yesterday. You're going to be starting on versus San Diego on Saturday.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you, and why?
I'm excited. They're giving me the chance to start. I feel really comfortable starting, so I'm just really happy that they're giving me the opportunity.
They're one of baseball's most explosive lineups. Is there anyone in there that you particularly want to shut down?
No, everyone.
Everyone.
I like to shut down everyone.
What in the world?
Yeah.
Little did anybody know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is so funny.
That's just the way I don't know. That's just the way I think, though. I don't know one in particular. And it just so happened there was a no-hitter. Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely weird how things work out.
Yeah. I mean, it must have been cool to be back home, too.
That was unreal walking in. Yeah, that was a pretty surreal moment when I first walked out of the visiting dugout and there's no one there. Well, no, the people were starting to filter in, but man, I just remember growing up and going there as a kid, and I just walking out to the outfield, actually being a player and like shagging BP, and I was like, no way. And just the smell up there and the seagulls running or flying throughout the stadium, and a lot of cool feelings. And being a player inside that ballpark was like the dream and the goal from as long as I can remember going up to that stadium. I'm like, I'm going to play in the stadium.
Dude, that must have been so surreal. Because,
mean,
when you go to that park, any park really, like you go out and there's just this aura. I can't describe it.
It's
the smells, it's the sounds, it's this huge open space.
The cold kind of air. It's just it's weird.
How'd that feel walking across like the outfield? Like, did you feel like...
It was just goosebumps.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, just goosebumps. And I see the fans out in left field, and I'm like, I was that little kid with my dad asking bonds for balls out in left field. Like, that was like probably one of the coolest parts of the year is actually walking in that stadium, being a player and not a fan, because that was the goal,
Dude.
So, it's goosebumps.
There's a photo. We were trying to find it, but I saw it before where you're standing. I think you and your dad are standing next to the bullpen. Bumgarner's in the bullpen. Bumgarner's in the bullpen behind you. Mm-hmm. And another crazy full circle where now y'all are teammates.
Yeah, now we're teammates. Yeah, I believe that was the 2012 World Series, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that was 12, and it was my dad and I, and we got that photo, and Bumgarner's like warming up behind us right on the field because we were close to him. And then who would have thought that one day I would be his teammate,
That's crazy. Yeah, a lot of like weird coincidences.
A lot of weird
shut down everybody.
Yeah, the coincidences are definitely weird.
There's a video of you where he comes up to you right after the no-hitter. Do you remember what he said to you in that moment?
To be honest, I don't remember what anyone said. I'm sure it was along the lines of like just incredible job, like all my teammates and everyone was just like so stoked and happy, and like just so it was cool seeing everyone just so pumped up, and it was awesome. And then the locker room was really fun after that.
Yeah, were people throwing beer and stuff?
Beer showers, yeah. I rode to the shower in a laundry basket, and it was just like that was just so fun.
It's like a movie, dude.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm glad we're collaborating. We're making a little glimpse of what goes on behind the scenes to make that kind of stuff
Yeah, absolutely.
happen, and that's the goal, is to inspire people.
So as you look to the next season,
Yeah.
what does that preparation look like? You've had this phenomenal entry into the major leagues.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep that momentum going? You've been working so hard. We're working on a video right now, so
Yeah.
I'm seeing you working hard. But
Yeah.
mentally, physically, emotionally, what do you do to prep yourself for 2022?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, just taking care of what I can, and that's working my ass off in the gym and throwing and making sure my arm is healthy. And I'm doing basically what I did last off season, because it worked out good for me this year, and I'm going to continue to roll with that. But I do remember like a saying that when some guys get to the big leagues, they're like, I made it. That's my goal. I'm kind of good now. I don't care what happens next. And then the other guy says, when someone makes it to the big leagues, they're never going to let that feeling go. They're going to work even harder to stay there, right? And like, that's kind of my mindset as I'm going through this. I'm like, now that I've gotten like a good 2 months, a good taste of the big leagues, not really, but a little amount of time, that I'm not letting that go. Like, I'm going to do everything I can in my power to stay there now,
That's amazing. I think that's a lesson everybody should take with them. Never settling with where you're at. Keeping your priorities straight so you can keep that momentum going.
Totally.
I was talking to a friend about this actually, and I said, watching you do this and watching you perform at such a high level, it's so, amazing to witness. And it's also motivating. And I'm not going to go back and try out for the Pecos League again, but
in any, yeah,
in anything,
anything, yeah.
I want to be a better filmmaker, because you see what another human being can do when they put their heart and soul into something.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds really cheesy, but
No, it's true.
so true. When you see somebody go before you, maybe it is the same thing. Maybe you see somebody, I don't know, like I climb too. So when you see somebody's able to climb up a certain rock, it's like, oh, the human body can do that. But you can also take examples. Watching you perform like this motivates a person to want to put in everything, put in their all.
I agree. And I think, like inspiring other people to achieve their goals is the goal in a way, but you got to be realistic with it. And I think, I don't know, there's a fine line, I want $1 billion. Like, that's not going to work. It's like there's got to be more realistic, a realistic process to whatever you're doing. But I don't have it figured out, but at least I can inspire other people to, like, whatever profession it is, and just go for it,
Yeah,
it's really up to you how bad you want to do whatever it is in your life,
When I was running cross country in college, I had a teammate. We would have this debate, and he would say, Nick, no matter how much you train, no matter how many miles you put in, how early you get up in the morning, and how much work you put in, you're never going to go to the Olympics. You're never going to beat the number one guy at Stanford. And I'm like, no, that's nonsense. I was like, I would tell him, I was like, there is no ceiling. I was like, you can work as hard as you can, and you can be the best. And I mean, I don't know, what would you say to that? Because there are, it's safe to say I'm not going to play in the NBA. I'm not going to tackle basketball.
Right. And that's being realistic with yourself.
So where is that line? How do you know what is possible? How do you stay motivated? And how do you know when to refocus your goals to something else? Where is that ceiling?
I wish I had that answer, because I will never have that answer. But when you surround yourself with people who, you guys have the same profession, right? And you see guys or girls or whoever it is at the top of the level of your profession, and you see yourself fitting in with them and saying, oh, well, like, I'm just as good, if not better. Like, why would I quit now? Yeah, there's a fine line. Like, I'm not going to go play NHL or NBA, like you said. But But if you rub elbows with people who are at the top of the, that level, and you're like, well, I can do that too.
Yeah.
Then I think that's the way I was looking at it, and I still will look at it like, I belong there. But yeah, I think just being realistic. I'm no motivational speaker or nothing, but I think just somewhat being realistic and not giving up, right? What do you think?
I think it goes back to what I was kind of saying about, just I don't know, so wise. I forgot what I was even saying, I guess. No,
You're saying like when someone tells you you're not going to go to the Olympics.
Oh, yeah. There's a glass ceiling.
Yeah.
I guess to a certain extent, I mean, the guy was probably right. I'm not going to win the Olympic marathon or whatever. But at the same time, you do have to kind of go outside of yourself and push yourself.
Totally.
Because there is this mystery level that a lot of people settle below it. Mm-hmm. And for me, because I didn't used to run. I didn't used to be a runner. Yeah. I was, I don't know. I was a little chubby in high school. I wasn't fat or anything, but I played football. I was a 200-pound football player.
Yeah.
And then I became a cross-country runner in college, and I was like 155 pounds. Yeah. And it's like, you could have never told me that in high school, that would be my trajectory. And because I couldn't see that. But it's just, if you push yourself, there's that mystery level that you will hit if you want to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think a lot of people can get into this zone of, I think I've peaked, but you haven't.
Totally. No, that's something to think about for anything that you do in life. I agree. Yeah, it's just striving.
Yeah. So what has been like your favorite takeaway from this whole year, from this whole journey? What would you say about your experience this year?
It's hard to pin it down to one thing, but being like a good, big part of the rotation in the end of the year with the Diamondbacks, and like proving myself that I can help this team win, I take that really serious. So just being like a valuable asset to the team, and that's something that I really value. And, moving forward into next year, it's going to be fun. And then obviously getting engaged, like there's all these life changes that are happening, and it's kind of like one big whole year that's going on. And it's storybook kind of, but I am so ready to move past like the no-hitter stuff. And no, like I'm saying like just towards next year, because I want to kill it again next year, and what happened, and it's so cool. But I'm just so hungry for next year now,
That's amazing. You are the definition of never settling.
Never settle.
Exactly it.
Never settle.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. And I think the no-hitter is a testament to when you put in your all, that's totally what you end up with.
Yes.
Because I've been thinking about this a lot, is that, again, with anything, it's kind of like, not that I'm like a physics person or anything, but when you push a ball up a hill, eventually it's going to fall down that hill. Mm-hmm. And so I've been thinking about this in life. The more you put in, the more you push yourself and you become exhausted.
Yeah.
But not tired of what you're doing, but you just like train hard or whatever, and you're putting in all that effort or work, that ball is going to roll down the hill and it's all going to pay off.
Totally.
And I think that no-hitter is a perfect example of that, because you weren't sleeping in. You weren't sitting there on your couch just eating donuts. You're in the gym. You're working. It's important to have balance.
Yeah, a couple donuts here and there.
Yeah.
No, but you're right.
And even mentally, working with your dad, doing electrician work, that's not really helping you throw the ball faster, but it's getting you mentally prepared to just deal in all sorts of situations.
Anything, and when I was working with my dad, I felt like this is just kind of normal. Like it wasn't some like, whoa, you're getting up at 6 or 7 and working out, throwing, and then going and doing electrical work. It's like, yeah, that's what I was doing. And that's what I like had to do. And it's not really, it wasn't too foreign, I guess, but it's a cool story looking back.
Well, I mean, I think that's another big thing about your success is that if you are able to withstand certain amounts of workloads or pressure or whatever, and you normalize that, it's like, I've heard people say this before, but another way to look at it is like the more like pain that you've experienced, like physically or whatever, like you can withstand that again. So it's like if you're in the gym every day it's not going to be the same as the person who's in the gym once a month, because you normalize yourself to it, and you can you basically can withstand that, and it becomes your normal.
Totally.
And you're way past what somebody else's normal is, which is maybe once a month in the gym.
Right.
And so that now you have a new base level of where you're starting when you turn it up another level. You just level up.
Yeah. Just trying to level up every time. Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
What would you tell somebody who is watching your story, watching you work hard, who wants to play baseball? What would you tell them? What's the best thing that they can do?
Just, you got to believe in yourself, and you got to want it, I guess. And I think for a young player, it's just go for it, man. And like, you'll know when your time's up. I definitely believe in that, and just believe in yourself. And at the end of the day, it's going to be up to you whether you want to make that happen or not, right? So you just got to believe in, and obviously don't give up, because there's been times, I'm 27 years old and I haven't made it to the big leagues yet. I'm like, is this really worth it? But like, no, you gotta look through that and see that light at the end of the tunnel type thing, and go for it.
Yeah, because what if you said the day before your call, it's enough. Who knows what?
And it was
tomorrow
like,
brings.
and like that's what I'm saying, being realistic with yourself and like getting to that point where, but that wasn't like, it just wasn't in my blood for that to happen, and I was like, nothing's gonna stop this.
Well, I'm very excited to be working on a video project with you.
Yeah.
We're in the midst of a production right now for people who are, the video might be out by the time people listen to this.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah, a little sneak preview tonight. That was really cool. It's been a pleasure working with you, Nick.
Well, so, same. This has been amazing.
Fun.
We've been working on a video. We'll have to, we'll play the video in the episode or something.
Yeah.
But,
cool.
but we've been working on a video kind of highlighting this theory of put in hard work, good things happen. And we've been following you in the gym, running, throwing the ball.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun to work on, and I think it's going to inspire a lot of people.
Totally.
This conversation is going to inspire a lot of people. What you're doing on and off the field, the way you carry yourself, it's just been amazing to watch.
Appreciate that.
Getting to play alongside you in high school and knowing like there's something different about not just the way you play, but the way you handle yourself on the field. It's like I think again, it's knowing when to have fun and when to totally crush it.
Yeah.
And you perfected that. And I think it's just been a lot of fun to see where it's taken you.
Totally. Yeah. It's been a journey. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's been quite the journey, and it's only the beginning now.
I have a photo.
Oh yeah.
There's us.
We are
back home at the high school.
We are, yep.
That was a fun day.
That was a really fun day.
Your homecoming. What was that day like?
That was cool. I mean, that's where it all kind of started, right up there in the valley, Retiring the jersey was something that when I was in high school, I never would even think about that, but yeah, it was pretty neat.
So you had this homecoming at San Lorenzo Valley High School. Mm-hmm. Shout out Cougs. I got my shirt on, actually.
I love that shirt, yeah.
Have you seen this? 831.
I love that. I got to get one of those.
Yeah, I got this like 5 years ago. We'll find one. But anyway, so you had this homecoming. I'll have to throw this in because we're kind of backtracking, but I just want to touch on this really quick.
No worries.
I don't know how to interview.
Are you like able to edit and do
we're going to edit, or we won't edit. Who knows? This is my first episode. But what was it like going back home and seeing all that love?
Amazing, man. It's just people were just so stoked and happy that like, it made me it's just kind of gratifying, like that people are cheering for you and backing you up, and like I'm able to give happiness to people from the valley and inspire people. It makes it all worth it, man. It really does. And throwing those like signed balls out and to whoever, maybe some people want them, maybe some people don't, whatever. At least I saw people smiling and laughing, and it was just like they were just so happy, and it was really gratifying feeling.
You have tons of people behind you, and I mean, we're from a really cool place. I mean,
super cool.
San Lorenzo Valley. People are going to
tight knit. Community,
tight knit, beautiful. People are going to see it in the video.
I know that's like why I'm so excited about that video. Just like to give light to like the valley and how special it is.
Yeah.
And Santa Cruz too. It's just a pretty neat area.
It's cool to like give back to your roots like that, and like this is where I came from, and it sounds like it was a huge part of like who you are, and you bring that to your playing still today.
Yeah,
still like that. You wear your backwards hat, you know, you're still the Santa Cruz surfer.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, no, I'm not changing,
dude. Well, you are doing more than inspiring people. I mean, it's amazing what you're doing. Congratulations on all your success. Nobody deserves it more than you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm excited for people to see this video and
me too.
All the other stuff we collaborate on. And Tyler Gilbert, thanks for coming on.
Thank you,
Vancast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
This is Tyler Gilbert's first career start in the major leagues. Call, strike 3, got him. 2 outs to go. 2-2 to Kim. Call, strike 3, ring him up. No hits through 8 2/3. He's 1 out away. No Diamondbacks pitcher has ever thrown a no-hitter in this ballpark. Center field, Marte, it's a no-hitter!
What were you doing last year during COVID, and could you have ever imagined that you'd be throwing no-hitters a year later?
I was throwing bullpens to my varsity head coach at the high school in the hometown that I grew up in, and I knew there was never anything that was going to prevent me from getting to the big leagues, and that's something that I really bought into no matter what. There was never a doubt. I just didn't know when it was going to happen, but I know it was going to happen.
Starting for San Diego on Saturday.
Yeah.
They're one of baseball's most explosive lineups. Is there anyone in particular you want to shut down?
No, everyone.
They got him in the minor league phase of the Rule 5 draft. Just his 4th ever appearance in the major leagues, his first start, and he just threw a no-hitter.
Tyler, congratulations. You're only the 4th in Major League history to do this in his first start.
What does it mean to you that you're going to be a part of history now?
It's amazing. To be honest, it just hasn't hit me too much yet, but it's really cool. Can't really describe it.
What would you tell somebody who is watching your story, watching you work hard, who wants to play baseball?
You know, you got to believe in yourself. You got to want it. At the end of the day, it's going to be up to you whether you want to make that happen or not. It's just the dream, you know. That's my dream, was to get to the big leagues, and it happened this year. And without my parents, fiance, and all that support, it might have never happened, you know. So I'm going to do everything I can in my power to stay there now. It's everything that I've been wanting and striving for. It's basically been my life since I can remember, you know, working every day towards one goal, and it's been quite the journey, and it's only the beginning now. Nothing's going to stop this.